Welcome to Canton, Ohio for the final game of Friday night SFL action, where the Jacksonville Kings are invading with ill intent. They come seeking to spoil the hometown classic's bid for perfection. I'm your host, Alex West, and with me in the phone booth tonight is the illustrious Anthony Ellison for analysis. Anthony, what will it take for David to slay Goliath?
Everything needs to go right from the start. You need to come out firing. At this point, it's the last game of the season. You want to throw everything, the kitchen sink, the coaches. You want to throw everything at them. You want to be the one that's going to deny the record books of a team going undefeated in the regular season here. So this is very important. This is a David Goliath situation. If I'm Canton, I'm not falling into that trap. You want to get yourself ready for the playoffs, but don't look past this team.
Truly feels like a night where everything needs to go right for the Kings, as the Canton is truly a formidable opponent. Joining us tonight in the stats booth is Ron Haynes and Joshua Durr. Thank you both for your service tonight. Canton is going to be defending the South goal. Looks like they're in their 1920 throwbacks, the Canton Bulldogs uniforms. Special one. And set to kick off, and here we go. Quick touchback. Let's introduce the Jacksonville offense as they set to take the field. Starting quarterback O.J. Bruin, halfback Sean Sanders and Shepard Vicarian, wide receivers King Alexander, Joe Beasley, who did the touchback there, Kingston Ellison, and Connor Weston. We'll go through the rest of them after this 1st and 10. Jacksonville in the power I. That's Ellison in motion. Ellington. Toss play left side. There's Shepard Vicarian. Stiff arm. And that's a first down with ease. A very surprising start, but exactly what we wanted to see from Jacksonville.
Yeah, you don't want to play like your record. You're going to play like, yeah, we're better than that. And they came out right there firing with a nice sweep to the outside. Canton lost containment, and that was just a nice way to get a first down on a good first drive. Like, this is what you want to start with.
For sure. Looked like a great push up front. We'll go through the offense again here in a moment. I formation. Running play between the tackles. And that's Sean Sanders getting a nice 5-yard gain. Let's go through the rest of this offense. At tight end, we have Jim Copeland Jr. and Dot Williams. At tackle, we have Bryce Randall and Brennan Ryan. Guard, we have Marcella Martin, and the center, Carly Forge. Jacksonville continuing this rushing approach to the fullback. And that is just a moment where Canton looks like they're trying to reassert themselves a bit, but the front five from Jacksonville is getting a lot of push here in the early going.
Yeah, and it's setting up for a manageable third down right here. I would keep it on the ground. I would not show any type of passing so far. They've been doing a good job running the football. Good job by the offensive line.
And they elect to pass here. Oh, and there's a sack. You think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Canton, there they send the heat. They are able to get some penetration. DJ Kilgannon was able to shut that one down before it was able to develop at all. You just see... Whew.
So sometimes I wish they would just they hear me out and they can hear me from the booth right there, because that's just, I would just ran the ball right there. You're able for Canton to get to the backfield. You know they love to sack the quarterback right there. That's just another example.
For sure, Canton coming into this game as a unit with 30 sacks, good for second in the league. And we got a return that goes for a little bit, not a whole lot. But that is Andrew Gibson, who gamely goes for a few yards, gives his team some advantage. And let's see what the Classics have for offense. This is the number 1 offense in the league. Most points per game with 34.8. Most rushing yards per game They lead with 174 and what you think is a mediocre passing attack, 194 yards per game, but they limit turnovers and they have so many touchdowns. Power I. And they elect to run it up the middle. And that is going for extras, and that's a first down, or second and extremely short. That's Logan Lee on the carry, the Offensive Player of the Year last year, former Vancouver Legionnaire. And that is just an example of what they've been doing all season.
Yeah, and they have a balanced running attack with Lee and Johnson. Lee is the one that's going to give you the big yardage. Johnson is going to give you like the 2 or 3 yards that's going to get you the first down. It's just a beautiful balance.
Truly big jumbo set, and they're going to run it again. And there is Johnson able to follow the blocks, pick up the yardage needed. Not a difficult first down, but definitely one that you don't want to go backwards on. Let's talk about this rest of this offense, introduce them. We have quarterback Scar Patterson. We've already talked about the halfbacks, but that's Robert Johnson and Logan Lee. Fullback Bill Cherry. Wide receivers, we have Ryan Owens, Andrew Gibson, Al Dillapre Sr. Run up the middle to Lee, who is able to pick up 2 yards. Not a lot doing, but they're still able to move the ball that much further forward. It's just like body blows coming in. They're setting things up.
Yeah, and that's just good job like by the offensive line with the push right there. They are in control, and you can see it here.
Another run to the right side, and Jacksonville floats to the ball, snuffs that one out. That's just an outstanding push there by the entire unit. John Patrick Levine is there to make the tackle. Let's introduce the rest of the offense here. We've got Ryan Owens and Andrew Gibson. I mentioned them earlier. We've got Al Dillapre Sr. and Bob Lung rounding out the wide receiver core. Tight end Jack Wall. And then we drop back to pass. Scar Patterson has all kinds of time. Oh, but no! Jacksonville gets home. What happened?
It just didn't pick up the blocking assignments here. It was a simple straight rush. The defensive end kind of pushed the tackle back in there. The quarterback didn't have room. The quarterback needs to step up in the pocket, not roll out to the right or left in that situation. And that's a good stop by Jacksonville.
For sure. Scar Patterson looking like a deer in headlights as the rush was coming home there. Quick fair catch. Just to round out the offense, I didn't get to mention the tackles Jack LePancake and Max Van Linga, guards Adam Chance and Girth Lord, and center Kiara Kilgannon. But at this point, now we have to switch over to look at the offense that Jacksonville is coming out, and it looks like they're going for another run formation. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Quick play, but looks like it was going to go between the tackles, but Jacksonville doesn't really have much going there. Brackett coming off the weak side unblocked, able to get home there. Let's introduce... Go ahead there.
No, in Jacksonville, they want to do something explosive here. I will try to catch them on guard, test out the secondary for Canton.
Sending the fullback in motion. Still looking for another run play. Oh, that's a delayed handoff, but Canton sniffs it out. Looks like they were trying to get to the backfield no matter what was happening, but there was just no way with how many red jerseys that were swarming to the football. Now it's 3rd and forever. Canton's done a great job of limiting third down conversions here. This is an obvious passing down. Big moment for O.J. Bruin. All eyes on him. And he snaps the ball. Drops back, and oh no! Coming off the blind side, Kevin Brackett just comes in like a freight train and runs over O.J. Bruin.
You have to block, and you have to communicate on the offensive line there. They did a stunt play, and that defensive end was able to get the outside leverage. The tackle went with the inside defensive lineman, and nobody was home. Nobody was able to protect that quarterback. That's dangerous. Good job by O.J. Bruin holding on to the football, because that could have been a fumble.
For sure, O.J.'s taken a number of sacks so far this year. This O-line has struggled to protect him, and this is just a drive that didn't really have much of anything going. It was smothered in its crib. this point, it's one of those moments where you just got to ask, if you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Canton looking to go for another running formation, weak side I. And they'll snap the ball and they'll run it to the left side. And, oh, wow. Just some great lead blocking there. An open field tackle ultimately made by the defense to save what could have been another first down, limiting to only 7 yards gained.
It doesn't need to be pretty. He didn't get touched until 6-7 yards up the field because everybody on the offensive line did their assignment. Perfect.
And another play left side. Rumbling, stumbling, and he's able to get across the chains. And that's a new first down. Jacksonville looks to be struggling a little bit with the run game on this drive. Let's talk about this defense. Let's introduce them. We got defensive ends Taquan Hale and P. Fodor. Defensive tackle Logan Gardner. Inside linebackers John Martin and Dallas Knowles. Run left side. Canton has blocks, has space. Another 7 yards gained on the ground for Logan Lee, who is just not even seeing a whole lot of contact whenever they're getting these kinds of runs to the left side.
And you have to contain the outside, and that's the assignment of the defensive end, the outside linebacker, that you don't want nothing to go on the outside. Force them back in.
And that'll be Robert Johnson on the carry, who is able to once again move the chains. This Canton offense certainly feels like they're building some momentum. They are now just about within field goal range of their kicker, Rob Ems, who's been quietly having himself a season. Canton lining up power. They're looking to put in man in motion. Ryan Owens going to the left side of your screen. Jacksonville on a 4-3 look. And that's a run up the middle. And, whoa, Logan Lee rumbling forward. And he just is able to carry a man with him across the chains. And at this point, they're well within field goal range. First down.
And you see why he's averaging a league-leading 5.4 yards a carry. It's not the run itself. It's the contact and the yards after the contact. He got hit, and he was able to drag the defenders and roll over the defender for another 3 to 4 yards before he went down.
For sure, just an incredible blocking clinic tonight so far by the Canton front five. And another run. Oh, nope, that's a play-action pass. Scar Patterson to the end zone. No! Al Dillapre Sr. was there, but he was not alone. That looks to be Havo Ramsey on the pass deflection. Great job by the rookie.
And good job not being fooled off of the play action right there. That was going to be a perfect time to set up a play action because the run has been really effective. And good job by the rookie to stay home.
For sure. While we've got some time, let's talk about the other members of this defense. John Patrick Levine and Tigga Clay on the outside line. K Magic, Havo Ramsey, as mentioned before. Bernard Gooden and Roy Towers are your corners. Snap back. Scar Patterson throws the ball, and that's completed, and that's the end zone. Canton strikes first.
And it's very simple. It was a risk play by Jacksonville, by the defender. Could have been an interception, but it was just a simple pitch and catch right there. Throw it on the back shoulder. Nothing really like fancy about it. I love it. It was a little slant route, and it just took it to the house right there. And you see why the completion percentage is so high is because when you run the ball so effectively, you don't have to throw the ball big down the field. You can just do nice, easy passes for a touchdown like that.
And it's a show of confidence by Scar Patterson going the same direction. That's Al Dillapre Sr. who makes that touchdown catch. It was a nice little tight window that he fit that one in there. It was a good throw, a great, I would say a workmanlike catch, but he didn't drop it. He didn't let the thought of scoring get ahead of him. He just made the catch first, scored second. Veteran savvy move.
And You seeing the veteran leadership and the savviness of Canton and the reason why they are still undefeated in the season. But look, there's a lot of football left. Jacksonville, you had a couple good plays there. What fault you was 2 straight third downs on 2 different drives. You got sacked. So that's the one thing you want to avoid is to get sacked on those third downs.
For sure. Got to avoid going backwards on third downs. You need to get at least closer to the chains, if not across it. Jacksonville will snap the ball. O.J. Bruin back. And he is able to throw to the right side, make a completion to Connor Weston, who doesn't make it past the first down marker, but he does get it a lot closer. That's a catch made in a lot of traffic, a lot of contact there. I like that catch. Looks like they're lining up. This is a big formation. Looks like goal line almost. Run coming up the middle. And that is Shepard Vicarian, who's able to get 3rd and inches, but not quite over the line. Big clogging up the middle. Looks like maybe it was DJ Kilgannon who got the tackle there. Hard to say. A lot of red jerseys flow into the middle there. 3rd and short.
Big tackle. Big tackle. This is a big 3rd down coming up.
Don't overthink it. You think it's a run play here. And it will be. Toss right side. Vicarian makes a man miss. And is able to get the first down. And then some.
Yeah, and that was just a nice hit. What a way to lower your shoulder pads lower than the defender to run them over. And that's just a nice, tough run and a good first down, especially after they went 0-2 so far in their drives on 3rd down. So that's a good one to pick up.
Belkel back earning his pay. Looks like it might go to him again. Another toss right side. And he does not get the lead block there. Dot Williams was not able to make it to stop the flow to the flow that strong safety King Jamal had the line and was able to deliver on that tackle.
Yeah, when you have a cornerback and can get you those interceptions and the tackle right there, you see why right there. Keeping committed to the outside and made a good play.
Oh, and that's an interception. What a play. An athletic move by this free safety, Kanye Rockefeller, who was lurking and was just in position, read it all the way.
And that right there, 6th interception of the season. And it's just one of those robber zone covers right there, just sitting in the middle and watching the eyes of O.J. Bruin right there. And that's just a simple interception right there. You got to look off the safety. When you don't look off the safety, that's what's going to happen. Nice interception for Canton that leads the league with 32 interceptions.
That just widens their league-leading turnover differential. This defense is the toughest one in the league for a reason. And that's going to be a snap toss left side. And that's room to run. And more. That's red zone off of one play. Logan Lee more than happy to pick up sticks. That's not even power. That's just speed.
So, and this is exactly why the quarterback doesn't need to throw the ball. They get turnovers with short field, and they have an excellent running game. So all the quarterback need to do is just make sure, and what he has done this season, and not turn the ball over. Where runs like that, when nobody is touching you until after the first down, it makes it simple for the quarterback play.
For sure, simplifies things. Now Canton and the power eyes, that's going to be between the tackles. Robert Johnson is able to pick up 7 with some rough running. And that is just the 1-2 punch, thunder and lightning. These two have done so much heavy lifting for this team so far this season. And it's shown in their league-leading rushing touchdowns. They've got 22 coming into this game. And that's the end of the first quarter. Canton up by 7, marching and looking to show the hometown crowd a great end of the season. And welcome back. Canton is in the red zone, practically within goal-to-go territory. They can smell the end zone and they want pay dirt. Split back formation. Lots of guys down with their hands down on the line. And that's a toss play left side. And it makes a spin move, breaks a tackle, and that's the end zone. Another touchdown for the leading scorer, Logan Lee, who puts another one on the board.
And blocking, yes, blocking is phenomenal. The offensive line going to the next levels to block the linebacker and the safety. But you're seeing it's the moves. It's like when you can break the tackles. He's averaging 5.4 yards a rush, and you see it right there because once he gets into the hole, he's either going to break the tackle or he's going to spin off of it. That's just textbook running right there that I love to see.
For sure, number 15 on the season, Logan Lee, already making his mark on this game, and that makes it 66 yards with that carry. He's averaging over 9 yards a carry right now. And the kick is away. Back to return it. Will we see? Nope, that'll be a touchback, and Jacksonville will come out with the 20, come out on the 20-yard line. Let's see if they can answer back. At this point, you feel like you've got to start a drive now, or when will you start a drive?
You gotta protect the football is really important right here, and you just gotta know like there's no other games after this.
Draw play. Up the middle, not a whole lot, but hey, that's 3 yards. Shepard Vicarian putting himself on the line to get just something, anything.
And you're playing not for like, obviously you're playing for today, but you're playing for next season, and the scouts and everything. You want to make sure you give everything you can in this game.
For sure, you want to leave it all out. There's nothing left to play for except pride. Getting yourself out there. OJ Bruin's looking left, looking right, and he's going to hand it off up the middle. Nowhere to go. Sean Sanders is swallowed up in the backfield for a loss. That's Kevin Brackett coming off the weak side.
It doesn't matter how good of a running back you are. If you can't get the initial push from your offensive line, you're going to be trying to dance back there, and that's the situation we just saw.
3rd and away. OJ back to pass. Throws right side, and nope, nothing doing. He tries to fit it to Joe Beasley, but that is just too much contact. Not able to bring it in. What a pass deflection. That's Canton, what they've kind of done all year, and how they kept their counterparts to a less than 40% third down conversion ratio. That's right. They only let up 4 out of every 10 at best a game. Punt is away. It's high. Canton's getting downfield. Blocked, and they will return. Nowhere to go. That's a dangerous one. I don't like seeing guys not fair catch those ones whenever the gunners are right there.
And you want to be careful. You don't want to get people hurt. You got the playoffs coming up here. You don't really need to try to make something out of nothing. Just, take the fair catch. Let your number one offense do the work.
For sure, especially with how dominant they've been in the field position game. Another short field here on their own 42. And that'll be a run to the right side. Logan Lee again, who runs over one man and tries to go for more, is able to pick up 8 yards before they're able to get him down to the ground. But Logan is just here to, I don't know what Jacksonville did or said between games. I don't know if you gave him bulletin board material or if he's just pissed off that they lost last year and looking for some payback, but he is running with authority.
I can tell you that they didn't say anything. This is just bully ball when it comes to blocking.
For sure, up the middle, and that's going to be Robert Johnson, who's able to get the first down conversion. First down. Canton is now cross midfield and looking like they're in position to score again if Jacksonville doesn't figure out something to do to mix this up. Looks like a power eye, 2 wide receivers set on the right side. It's going to be a running play up the middle. Logan breaks the tackle, and he's loose. He's in the open field. It's a foot race. And that's a spin move. Oh, they finally bring him down, but he had so much room. Holy moly, Logan Lee.
we knew this was coming from the plays before. This is a simple ISO run. You're running between the center and the guard. And all you're doing, you're seeing what the guard does with his block when he goes up the field, and you just follow right behind it. It's very patient. It's straightforward running. But when you have a all-pro offensive line like you do here at the Ken, it's really tough for the defense. You're going to have to send pressure, blitz up the middle to stop this run.
Canton sends the fullback in motion, left side. A 33-yard run for Logan Lee, who is on the sideline after that one. Robert Johnson gets the call, gets 4 yards after some contact. But what can you say? Logan's over the century mark, and he hasn't even had 10 carries.
Yeah, and you know what? You thank those beautiful people up front with the offensive line, because all they're doing is they're taking a 4-3 defense that Jacksonville is running, and they're pushing them back.
They're trivializing it. Logan Lee bounces off a tackler, still on his feet. First down, maybe more. Oh, just shy of the end zone. Stopped by Logan Gardner.
Once again, you had them for a 2-yard gain, maybe. What happened? You got to make a tackle. Very simple. Make the tackle. Hold on to dear life. I don't care what you need to do, but you need to make sure that tackle, it needs to happen there. And you just saw it. Another broken tackle. This is the 4th one we've seen today. And they are setting up to drive into the end zone.
80 yards after contact so far. 1st and goal, split back. You think maybe it's going Lee's way again. And nope, it will go the other way. Robert Johnson gets his own score. And Canton up by 3.
And you gotta love the relationship and the connection that the two running backs have. They're not greedy. They want the other one to shine. This time, hand it off to the other back. And all he did was just step over people. Nice little hurdle. It was just, I don't think they passed the ball that drive alone. It just shows the dominance of what Canton can do. And it's really tough for Jacksonville, because you get in a hole this early in the game. You're trying to figure out what you can do.
For sure, at this point, looks like Jacksonville is struggling for answers, but then again, they are not alone in that. Undefeated Canton, 11-0 at this point, and they are showing why. But let's talk a little bit more about the SFL alongside Jack's data. We'll be breaking down where the playoff race stands after Saturday's games on this Season 22 scenario show right here on SFL YouTube. 3 games will remain, 8 scenarios remain. What seeds, opponents, and situations will your team find themselves in? Who should you cheer for down the stretch? Stay up late with us. The show will air live at 11:45 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday on SFL YouTube. And Jacksonville will return this time. They're able to get it across the 20, but not too much further. But they're game to just try and do something. Kingston Ellington not really seeing a whole lot of action in the passing attack. Says, you know what? I just need to get my legs moving.
And sometimes it takes something like that to get you going. You need something positive that you can take back to the huddle and tell your offense, hey, we can do this.
They're just mortal. They're not all that. We can play. That's the attitude I want to see them coming into this with. But let's take a moment and talk about these superhumans on the Kansas City defense. I haven't introduced them so far this game. We've got a defensive ends, Mike All and Jabril Curse. Defensive tackles, LL Vogt and Neil Rivers. Inside linebackers, Mark Gronick and DJ Kilgannon. Outside linebackers, Kevin Brackett and Dimitri Montzuma. Corners, Evan Lacey, Frank Bernstein, Joshua Durr, and Dedrick Law. And the free safeties, Kanye Rockefeller and the strong King Jamal. 2nd and 10 after that incomplete pass. And at this point, you kind of start to wonder if this is the moment where we see what we've seen from Jacksonville before, where they get a little bit one-dimensional. Showing up in the power I form, or showing up in an I formation, 2 wide receivers left side. OJ drops back, throws middle, connects, and he's moving forward, but is not able to get a whole lot more. But that's just a little bit of extra effort.
And you see right there, there's a difference between the two teams. When somebody didn't make the tackle, you saw somebody right there to help close it out. That's the difference between 3rd and 4 or a touchdown like Canton did last drive.
For sure. Jacksonville here in the eye, 3rd and 4. One wide receiver on the right side. OJ back to pass, short route over the middle, and nothing doing. Joe Beasley had nowhere to go, no room to run. Canton forces another 4th down. Evan Lacey there just right in position, the season 20 All-Star showing up again.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what play you call. You got to make sure you call the play that's going to give you a 1st down and not something that's short.
For sure. The punt is away. That's high. Canton looks to return. Not a whole lot of room to run there. A little bit of rough room there for Andrew Gibson. Not a whole lot of lanes to go through. But Canton will take over on the 37. And at this point, you just kind of wonder, will they score before half? And will it be a touchdown or a field goal?
I wouldn't need to pass the ball. They have just a dominant running game happening right now.
It feels like it, right? Just nothing doing. Logan Lee up the middle takes 2 bodies, but they do bring him down. 2nd and 5. And that feels like one of his shortest runs of the day, which feels so weird to say out loud that a 5-yard run is short.
And
look at that.
Look, 119 yards, averaging 10.8 carries. He's averaging a 1st down every time he touches the ball.
Eye popping, and there he is again. 1st down and more. Spin move, bounces off a tackler. I wonder where they'll spot it. You think maybe he lost a bit too much for spinning out of the tackle there, but holy moly, he's not mad about the 1st down. Look at this.
This is something that we probably might want to keep an eye out for. Is how many rushing yards in a game, because right now he's on pace to surpass 200 yards rushing by maybe the end of this 1st half, if not beginning of the 3rd quarter. It's because of the offensive line. They came out with an identity that we're going to push everyone back, and that's what they're doing.
For sure. The tight end's even giving some extra push up front. And there you have it. They're going between the tackles with that one, and Robert Johnson's able to pick up 6. Pick up sticks maybe on this next play or two. Jacksonville just doesn't have any answers. They're trying stacking things on the line. They've tried different formations. They've tried blitzing the safeties. What, at this point, what do you do?
Call timeout.
2nd and 4. Jacksonville back on their heels. Split backs. Logan Lee right side. No push up the front. But still, his legs churning, is able to get it across the line of scrimmage. Finally, they hold Logan to 1 yard.
Hey, that's a celebration right there, because a 1-yard stop after what's been going on, that's promising for Jacksonville. Now, this is a 3rd down, rare 3rd down. I will send pressure if I'm Jacksonville. Why not?
For sure. Send the house. What do you have to lose? Scar Patterson looking. Power I formation. He drops back. That's a delayed handoff. That's Robert Johnson, who's able to go across and just is cruising. Oh, no. We got an injury on the field.
Let's hope everything's okay.
And that's going to be Havo Ramsey, the cornerback, the rookie, who's going to be injured. We'll keep you advised on his status as time goes on, but thankfully the Kings do have some depth at the position. They're not going to be forced in too awkward of a spot. At this point, you don't want to have a thin roster going even thinner with how the defense has been struggling to keep up. Canton with a split back formation. 1st and 10. And that'll be a toss left side. Logan breaks 1 tackle. Can't break 2, but he's able to pick up 3 yards, even though he was met practically at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a good play call by Jacksonville, recognizing it and trying to stop him at the line of scrimmage. But once again, it's that breaking tackles. When you have somebody who has at least right now over 6 break tackles in the game, tough.
Finally below the 10 yards per carry mark. Logan Lee is not in, and that'll be the alternate punch, who's able to get a few more yards there. Robert Johnson's not able to quite get the first there. Does a little nifty spinning, but not able to power across the line. That's fine. It's 3rd and short. Very manageable. Canton, a weak eye. Will run it between the tackles. Logan has room. Spin cycle. Not able to make the man miss. Gets brought down in the open field. But hey, first down pretty easily. See what we got. We got a nice block here by Ryan Owens on the outside. I don't mind a little bit of wide receiver action, but, you know, I figure if we were going to look at that kind of highlight, what are we doing? See it up front.
It's showing that the wide receivers are keeping themselves active, knowing that they're not going to get a lot of passing plays called, but they're going to still say, hey, we're physical. We're a physical team, so we're going to block on the outside as well.
That's very true. That's very true. Sets up those toss plays, and that's Johnson to the right side. Not a whole lot, but he's able to bump around inside there like a pinball and pick up 4. Falls forwards. And there's your 2-minute warning. Canton up by a lot, looking to make it more. And at this point, they're well within the red zone. Jacksonville has to get a turnover to prevent a score here. And that's a run to the left side for Canton. Logan has some blocking. He's able to break tackles. 3rd and inches. Almost gets across the line there. This is extremely convertible. But you think that Jacksonville, if they can manage a stop here, maybe they can force a field goal instead of another potential touchdown.
They're going to have to do something because this is 4 straight 3rd down conversions this drive alone for Canton.
Goal line formation, run up the middle. No way. Robert Johnson is going to be denied here. 1st and goal, and I would be surprised if that's more than a yard.
Yeah, and that's another 1st down, and that's really hurtful for a team when you can't get off of the field and they keep on converting 3rd downs.
And you see that ball is almost on the plane already. Goal line formations, both teams, you know what's coming. Cloud of dust, here we go. Logan left side is able to punch it in, and there's another touchdown for him. And that makes, number 16 on the season.
Yeah, he didn't get touched. Not at all. It was just the whole drive. What we just saw was a complete drive of only running the football. It's not like it was like 1 or 2 big runs. It was just 8 yards here, 7 yards here, 5 yards here, 1st down here, 1st down here. It's bully ball. Is when you push somebody back, and that's just giving yourself will. If I'm the team that has to play Canton in the playoffs 1st round and the first time, you gotta have to beef up your run defense. It's gonna be important.
You need to be becoming creative, because let's talk for a second about Cannon's last 3 consecutive drives have been all running plays. That's right, all running plays. There have been 12 on this most recent drive, then 6 on the last one for 58 yards, 3 plays prior to that for 34 yards. Of course, all 3 of these drives ending in points. That Canton hasn't thrown the ball since their first drive. The running game has been so dominant, Jacksonville has had no answer. And at this point, Jacksonville trying to answer back. O.J. Bruin under center, putting a man in motion. Going from left to right. 3 receivers on the right side, 1 single back. Play clock winding down. O.J. goes back. And pressure weak side. Oh, hit as he threw. Almost a sack.
Just a delay blitz right there. Jacksonville has been having a tough time on the offensive line with communication, and it's just been either a stunt or a delay blitz. They're just not picking up that extra defender.
Bruin felt Monzuma coming, but wasn't able to get it away on target. Now an I formation, dropping back again. Oh, and pressure up the middle this time! And he's down on the ground.
And that's another sack for Canton. That is, I think by the end of today, will be leading the league in sacks. And we're just seeing right there, just great pressure up the middle.
Entirely possible. This front four has been getting home again and again. Obvious passing situation. Back to pass. Pressure weak side. Goes deep. Gets his man. First down. What a pass. And Joe Beasley gets it in space. Gets the chains to keep a drive alive and get a real first down for what feels like the first time in forever.
And great job by O.J. Bruin staying in the pocket, knowing that he's going to take a hit and delivered a good strike down the sideline.
For sure, 18-yard pass, longest one of the day. First and 10, all 3 timeouts because he got out of bounds there. Back to pass. No, that's a run play up the middle. Nowhere to go. What?
So sometimes you just have to understand, we might want to take this to the locker room.
I suppose, it's Sean Sanders, but like when you have that kind of first down that you just pick up, you got all 3 timeouts, I think I'd take a shot, but it's fine. Back to pass. Right side. He breaks a tackle. That's Joe Beasley, who can't break another one, but does pick up some yards. Jacksonville elects to take the timeout here. And they'll stop the clock. 3rd and manageable. Let's see what they do. Big front formation showing from Canton. Looks like they want to bring some heat. 6 men with their hands down the line for the defense. Jacksonville with 3 wide receivers. Back to pass. Pressure coming. And that is deflected. Contact. They were looking for the tight end. Jim Copeland Jr. was met as the ball arrived, unable to bring it in. And that will be 4th and 4.
And we're seeing the tale of 2 different teams here. One team converting all the 3rd downs. The other one is having a tough down converting a 3rd down.
Moving at will versus not moving much at all. The punt is away. And I think Canton will just probably let us take this one into the half. Because there's just not a whole lot of ways that I see that going. I don't think they're going to ask Gar Patterson to throw a 50-yard bomb here when they've only asked him to throw the ball twice.
Yeah. I would just take it to half because you also remember injuries. You don't want nobody to get hurt. Or you could just hand it off to both of your stud running backs.
Just give it to Logan Lee. See what he does. Who knows? Maybe he'll break off another 50-yarder. Speaking of, there he is. Breaking tackles up the middle. And that'll be the half. But he gets another surprising 6 yards there. Looks like they were maybe hoping for another little miracle between the tackles there. But that'll be your halftime. Canton up 28-0, showing the hometown crowd exactly what they came to see. Tell me, Anthony, what are you seeing out there today?
Complete domination. It is running the football at will, outside, inside. It's just a complete domination on the front by the offensive line. I love offensive line play. And when you run the ball so effectively, you do a few things. You tire out the defense and you run the clock and you get time possession. And that's what they have. They took advantage of their turnover, turned into touchdowns, but pretty much this has just been a dominant performance on the ground.
For sure, and it's just hard to overstate how impressive Lee has been, but it's just one of those things that you have to see to believe. 28-0, and guess what? Ken gets the ball. That's right. We're here for more of what's shaping up to be the Logan Lee show, and see if he gets into the SFL history books tonight, folks. Welcome back for your second half of action. And Jacksonville getting set to kick off. Hands up, and the kick is away. Turn, bringing him out across the 20-yard line, lowering his shoulder, breaks the tackle. Not able to get too much more, but is able to get it to the 27. is Bob Lung. And Canton's going to set up now with, probably one of their longest field positions of the day. Odd to consider, but it's true. They dominate the field position battle. They have all season. They lead the league as far as the field position on every drive goes, in part because this exceptional defense just makes it so easy for the offense. Scar Patterson lining up under center. We got split backs, 3 wide. And that's Al Delfree Sr. in motion, going right to left. Toss, right side. Logan breaks a tackle. Met after he breaks one, can't break another one. That's just a great job by Jacksonville delivering on team tackling. Alex Bond picking up the finish on that one. 2nd and 6. Lots of guys with their hands on the ground for the Canton offense. Run right side. Tackle broken, stiff arm. Second instance of Alex Bond picking up a tackle after his teammate wasn't able to bring the runner to the ground. Robert Johnson giving some extra effort there.
Unsung hero on that block right there was the fullback Bill Cherry.
And he's just been having he hasn't seen the ball once tonight. Has been having a great average so far, but is just quietly a very workmanlike back. Noses rolled, does his job. Scar passes the first time, and that's a one-handed grab. And let's say it while I've got the chance. That's your nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23.
And they're like making Jacksonville fall asleep right there, because it was run, and then a pass over the middle when Jacksonville didn't expect that. And once again, offensive line blocking phenomenally on the pass too.
The first pass since the first drive of Cantonville's entire offense, and it is completed. Run left side, that's Logan, who's not able to get too much push, but doesn't matter. He's open across the 20. And there he is, across the 10. What can you say? Nowhere to go, no lane, doesn't matter. He waits for it to develop, hurdles the obstacles, and just picks up so much more.
Oh, I know what to say. Tackle him. Broke 2 tackles right there, and then showing the breakaway speed that's getting him closer to the 200-yard marker running the ball. You have them stop. You have to make those tackles. That is the difference. The people who are watching this, the teams that are watching this for the playoffs, you're going to have to bring 2 to 3 people to tackle him and bring them both down, Lee and Johnson.
For sure. It takes a village. And up the middle, there goes Johnson, who's able to bring it almost to pay dirt. And that's going to be a very short 2nd and goal. What on earth do? You've got to send the house, but how can you? Because at some point, you have to recognize that Scar Patterson can and will hurt you over the top.
Yeah, you need to put an extra player on the field. Let's see if they don't recognize it.
Left side, Logan, who's able to punch that one in. A hat trick of touchdowns tonight. 17 on the season. When will it stop? I think that's one of his shortest runs, but it's just because he didn't have much field to take.
It'll stop when the 0-0 is happening in the 4th quarter, because what they're gonna keep running the football there. Double pull, they pull the offense, they pull the right guard, they have the fullback leading, so you have 2 just brick walls that you can just follow behind and go into the daylight right there. It's just been a beautiful thing to watch if you're growing up as a feature offensive lineman. This is what I played in college. It's just what you can just see. It's just the point of attack and then pushing your defender off the line of scrimmage. It's just beautiful to watch this.
For sure. You're seeing not only an incredible textbook of how to play the offensive line position at any position by this front 5, you're also seeing the definition of tenacious, never give up running. Logan Lee with that big rumbling 38-yard run. He's now had 2 runs of over 30 yards so far this game. As Jacksonville will bring that one out of the end zone and bring it across the 25, 28, almost to the 30. And he gets up with a little bit of a lip, but he does get up. Joe Beasley has been kind of the focal point of what bits of offense that this Jacksonville team has been able to put together when they have. It looked his way 4 times, 3 completions, but it's been some tough going. Let's see what they've got here in the second half. Jacksonville in a weak eye formation, 3 wide receivers. OJ under center. Sends Joe Beasley in motion from right to left. Toss right side. And that's a broken tackle. And not another one. You maybe get 1, but you're not getting 2. Jabril Curse says no more as Shepard Vicarian's able to get across the line of scrimmage, but only 3 yards.
And they're just fighting. And you know what? I appreciate that for Jacksonville because it's really tough to get yourself up and motivated when you're down by this much right here, but you just got to continue with your game plan.
The team is game. There's no quit in their eyes, but that's a short gain, almost no gain, as Brackett is there to make the tackle almost at the line of scrimmage. But let's talk about this Canton team and one of their sponsors. See the past come to life at the Canton Classic Car Museum. With more than 40 rare classic and special interest cars are on display, complemented by vintage toys, photography, and thousands of historical memorabilia. The Canton Classic Car Museum has something for everyone. Big sack on 3rd down. Once again, you know who on the sack. Kevin Brackett just making himself felt. But as far as the Canton Classic Car Museum having something for everyone, they are the official partner of your Canton Classics. 4th and 14, nothing to do. Just Canton's defense is picking up right where they left off. Punt is away. That's a high one. Canton will return. Get some yardage, but not a whole lot. They'll take over at the 38-yard line. And it's hard to say if we're going to see anything other than a bit more of Logan Lee with a helping of Robert Johnson.
And that's been the problem for Jacksonville is Logan Lee, it's Johnson, it's that offensive line, it's Bill Cherry coming from the fullback position to block it. It's a nightmare situation for Jacksonville, but for Canton, you're just keeping yourself polished and ready for the playoffs.
You're not having to overextend yourself. You're not having to get very creative with it. You're just running what works, and it's simple. And there it is again, Logan Lee, left side, who shuffles his way between, but does get tackled. Looks like maybe he lost a little bit of momentum as he tried to squeeze between the guard and tackle there. Safety able to meet him.
But regardless of broken the 200-yard rushing off of 22 attempts, that's incredible.
Oh, just mind-boggling. Bunch of men on the line for Canton up the middle. Not a whole lot doing, but still, Robert Johnson's able to take nothing and make it something, make it a 3rd and 1 as he falls forward. That's just some incredibly disciplined running from him. I don't feel like I've seen him really ever go for negative yardage. Credit again to the O-line, and look at all those hands on the ground. You know what's coming. So do we. Left side, Logan again breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and it takes 3 people to finally actually stop him as he goes across midfield, across the 40, and then some.
And this is when this is why your quarterback doesn't have that much stats, is because they have 2 running backs that just love to just create contact and move people. You have an offensive line that's just saying, hey, we're going to take over the game because we're going to dominate this. I can't stress how important it is to have an offensive line when it gets colder outside, when you need that first down, because they're going to get that for you.
For sure. Right side, nowhere to go. Johnson stopped, only gaining 2, but Again, disciplined running, a dedicated push by the front to get something out of nothing. But it's hard to say unless you can do that twice in a row. You're not going to really stop this offense. You got to do it at least twice in a row, if not 3 times, to have any kind of prayer. Another run up the middle. Logan is met, and that is an absolute car crash. Nowhere to go. There's no push by Logan Lee. I feel like that's the first time we've seen that all night. He doesn't get any extra yardage at contact.
Yeah, we've been spoiled, getting used to it. Right there, we didn't.
Defense showing up, saying not this time. 3rd and 5. Can they force a 4th down? Right side. Oh, and they will. Jacksonville finally forces a 4th down.
I love it right there. Still playing, still fighting right there. And good job stopping them on 3rd down and setting up a long field goal.
No quit in him, but Rob M's here for his potential longest field goal of the season, 50 yards. He's made it from 49, and that is good. 50 yards. What do you say? Even when you stop them from what feels like a mile away, they've got the leg. He's got the leg to go all the way, even with the wind. You saw how he had to bend that one. Just barely makes it across the crossbar, but that's 3 more for Canton.
And when you can have somebody on your special team like that can help you when you don't get the first down, somebody can get you points on the board. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a complete team.
It really is. These guys have it all. They've been doing it all this season. And just to highlight for a second some of these numbers, Canton's defense right now is pitching a shutout, which isn't that much of a surprise given how they have been allowing less than 5 points per game so far this season. That's right, less than 2 field goals. They've been allowing only 128 passing yards a game, only 68 yards rushing a game, under 200, best in the league. And the only thing they're not best in the league at is rushing. They're 3rd, but still, this team is dominant on both sides of the ball, and it's continued. Run left side, and there's some broken tackles. There's some positive momentum. Shepard Vicarian getting a good run there, who's almost got a first down. Not quite, but you feel maybe they move the chains a little bit. Get some good vibes going on this side of the court.
That's all you need is some good vibes and good times here. You don't want to show quit, and that's what they're not trying to do here, Jacksonville.
Not at all. Speaking of good vibes, if you want to see some good vibes, come to make sure you can get out to the 2024 SFL convention. It's headed to South Shore Harbor Resort in League City, Texas, just south of Houston, from July 12th to the 14th, featuring live games, flag football, a golf tournament, tailgate, pool party, and more. For all the convention details, visit simulationfl.net/news/convention to reserve your room, see the event schedule, and more. I'll be there. Will you?
Oh, I'm trying. I definitely want to be there and live in person, meet everyone, and potentially call a game. It's going to be fun.
For sure. Saw some photos and videos from previous years. Looked like something to see. But let's get back to the game here in Jacksonville I formation. OJ drops back to pass, looking, scrambling, and he's on the loose. He's across the first down, and he slides. Whoo! And that's using his legs to, whenever the receivers downfield can't get any separation. Okay, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, and that was the first time today that we see him use his legs. I like it. The pocket was collapsing. You saw that the linebackers had their back against them. Just took it for a first down.
For sure. Looked like maybe if someone was able to come off a block in time, maybe they stop him. But no, he was able to see daylight and get 12 yards there. And that's a toss left side. Shepard Vicarian, who's not able to get anywhere with that, is met in the backfield, has to push his way across the line of scrimmage just to get the friendly spot. DJ Kilgannon turning something into nothing. Watch your promising run. I'll make it disappear. I formation, 2 wide receivers right side. OJ drops back to pass. He throws over the middle. Nowhere No way, no how. Connor Weston doesn't have a chance on that one. Evan Lacey's all over it.
Yeah, and this is just going to be a tough team to face in the playoffs right here. They just have a good secondary that just breaks up passes right there. They're just so disciplined on both sides of the ball.
For sure. I mean, when you look at this secondary as a unit, like, where can you even safely throw the football? Everyone has interceptions. 4 wide receiver, empty backfield. 4 left side, 1 wide receiver right. OJ back to pass. Pressure coming. Throws. Middle. No! Joe Beasley not able to bring that one in as he is tackled as the ball is arriving. Evan Lacey again influencing things, breaking things up, and he's just had an incredible season so far. 5 interceptions, tied for second on the team with Kanye Rockefeller. Oh, but who's leading? Oh, their other corner, Frank Bernstein, with 6, third in the league. Kick is away, and that's a quick punt. You know, Canton's just been asserting themselves. They'll bring it forward again. Not a whole lot, but he does bring it to the 20, and Andrew Gibson just, you know, saying, okay, you know what, it's Logan's night, so you know what, I'm taking this one for me.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have the opportunity to get yours, make sure you're safe and everything. Everybody wants to be a part of what we're seeing right now, which is a greatness and a potential perfect season.
For sure. If you want to be a part of it, you dream of it. For Canton right now, it's right in front of them. They just have to seal the deal and then carry this energy into the playoffs, which, you know, everyone's going to be dissecting all their game film, trying to find some answers to this team, trying to find some weaknesses. Where do you even start looking?
You start looking with yourself and recognizing that you need to be on your A game. But essentially what you want to do is stop the run. If you can stop the run and force them to pass, that's going to give you the better opportunity to win.
Not too scorching hot of a take there. Stop the best running offense. Easier said than done. Logan Lee going left side again. 2nd and 10 becomes 3rd and 4 when it was 1st and 10. You know, it's like it was 2 quick 3-yard runs. They only took 1 to do it instead of 2 downs. You just have this kind of luxury that comes with this when the offense is humming this way, that you can afford 1 bad play. You're not killing a drive with that. Run right side. Nowhere to go. Robert Johnson is met in the hole by Levine, and that's a 4th and 2. A rare 4th down for Canton, who is justifiably maybe taking their foot off the gas a little here.
And that's the type of tackle other teams going to want to do. They're going to want to square up and bring them down before they start getting their legs moving and break tackles and everything. That's what you want to do. Make solid tackles and contain them.
For sure. It makes sense. If you can meet a running back in the hole when there's nowhere for him to go, you've got the best chance of bringing him down. And that is exactly what John Patrick brought there. End of the 3rd quarter, Jacksonville 0, Canton 38. Let's throw it over to Commissioner
Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
And here we are in the 4th quarter. Canton delivering as expected. At this point, you kind of wonder, will they break the over-under by themselves? Jacksonville looking to try and put points on the board, any points on the board. Fullback in motion, left to right side. They don't have an actual fullback in the roster. That's their tight end. Run up the middle. Shepard is not having any kind of luck there. Mike All sniffs out that draw and puts him on his back in the backfield. 2nd and 11. And how do you attack this Canton defense?
I take my chances, throwing the ball down the field, testing out the linebackers, see if they can get deep in coverage here.
I don't know about that one, my friend. Not with how many interceptions that this unit has as a whole. Yeah, maybe you've got some favorable matchups, and if you can try to get Mark Gronick or Kilgannon covering a shifty wide receiver, or if you can get Brackett trying to cover a wheel route. But what the linebackers don't have a whole lot of interceptions for, but Mark Gronick has 4. Those safeties and corners more than make up for. Everyone has at least 3. 4 wide receivers set for Jacksonville. Single back, 3rd and 6, drops back, passes left side, interception! Making another one. And that is Dedrick Law, who makes it 4 on the season. And what an interception that is. How do you catch that one around the intended target? Kingston Ellington was there.
I was going to say you got to protect the football, but clearly that wasn't the case in the situation. What we did, what we just saw was a defensive back just ran the route for the receiver, and the defensive back wanting the ball more than the receiver. But there are ways to stop Canton. It's not just saying, hey, we're just going to pass the ball. Passing on early downs, passing on downs that you think is going to be a run, you got to catch them off guard and give them, make them off balance. And that's how you're going to slow this team down.
Makes sense. Misdirection. Make them think you're going one way, then hit them the other way. It makes sense. It's easy to talk about, but hard to execute. Canton with just a dominant performance so far this season, maintaining that energy tonight. 2nd and 7, run to the right side, and that's a powerful run. Lowering his shoulder is Robert Johnson, who's able to get a first down.
So why I say protect the football is,
just one moment. We've got an injury on the field. It looks like Havo Ramsey, who was injured earlier this game, came back, is on his back again. I think that one was just a little bit too much contact, but he's playing like a hero out there, just coming back in the first place.
Yeah, I just hope he's okay. If don't force him back out there if you don't need to. You don't want long-term sustainable injuries.
For sure. It's one of those situations that I think that the team will avoid. They'll keep an eye on their guy. Run left side. Logan is having some trouble in the pocket, but it doesn't matter. Broken 1, broken 2. Can't break 3, but he can get in the red zone. Canton is marching at will again.
And I say protect the football because when you give them short field advantage, then this is just easy right here all day. Just breaking 2 tackles and getting the extra yardage. But that's because they have a shorter field position as well. And it's complete domination. It's not that you're going to stop the run or you're going to stop the pass. It's about containing them, containing the run, containing the pass. That's what you want to do.
Truly, limiting the damage is the only option. Toss right side. Who is that? That's not who we've been calling all night. That's the backup fullback, Jim Finn. Getting the toss on the right side.
Showing love to everyone.
Everyone gets a chance. 2nd and 5. I formation. Lots of hands on the ground for Canton. Power formation. Run up the middle. Logan breaks a tackle. Can't quite get across the first down marker, but he does make it 3rd and short. Not a whole lot to say outside of the fact that this has just been a bit one-sided and then some. So let's talk about, for a moment, the wild card round of Season 22. Kicking off on another SFL postseason with doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st this month. And there is another touchdown for Robert Johnson, his 2nd on the game. The 5th touchdown on the ground for this team so far today. And this is just an exhibition of how to run the football by both players.
It's how to block, how to sustain your blocks. The play call is phenomenal. They've been running this power O offense all game. It's a simple concept. You pull your backside guard, you have the fullback right behind the guard, and you just kick out the defense end, you kick out the cornerback. And all the running back has to do has 2 options. It can follow the block or cut inside like we just saw Johnson do right there to score. It's textbook running that everybody has But the difference is Ken has the will and has the might to make it look easy.
For sure, looking very easy out here. It's one of those things where, you start having to talk about what are some of the biggest rushing yard game performances of all time, and what are we looking at right now? Logan Lee at 250 yards so far tonight. And that's another 97 yards for Robert Johnson, by the way. This unit as a whole, almost 350 yards. And you think if Canton gets just one more possession, they're going to break that without a sweat.
Yeah, they have been running the ball extremely well, and you just have to tip your cap off to this offensive line right here. This has just been complete domination.
The unit has been performing for both backs. It doesn't matter who is getting the call. It doesn't matter if it's actually one of those rare passing moments. They have been performing on every down regardless. Jacksonville trying to put points on the board at all. Run up the middle. Shepard Vicarian. Not a lot. Only 2 yards. There's just nowhere to run. No lanes there. It's just, what do you even do? Canton's got pressure without even sending pressure.
You just try to get through this game and not have anyone hurt.
For sure. Not the performance that Jacksonville was hoping for in their last SFL game. Shepard Vicarian left side. Is he getting a carry there? He almost gets to the first down marker, but not quite. 3rd and short. Jacksonville kind of you think it's an obvious running. I would definitely rather run than pass here, but expect Canton to expect it.
Yeah,
lots of guys in the box. It's about to get dusty. Pressure coming. Oh, off the weak side. And that's Kevin Brackett completely unblocked, who had a straight line path practically after he just bent in like a boomerang, just came in and made that hit.
And we've seen this all game, is that outside rush has been free. If that wasn't a run, that was going to be a pass, and that was going to be a sack, maybe a fumble.
Truly just a no holds barred domination by Canton on both sides of the ball. They have only allowed 68 rushing yards on the game, 37 through the air.
And you just see why they're a #1 team in the league.
For sure. It's one of those things where they have delivered on both sides of the ball in the way that, just even defied the odds makers and even some of the most aggressive lines I've seen in SFL history. Run up the middle. There's the fullback. There's Mr. Bill Cherry getting his carry up the middle, picking up 3 yards. I was wondering if we'd see him today.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job blocking. He has.
For sure. Last season was an all-star. Or, excuse me, season 16 was an all-star, former Motor City V8. Been doing great for this team so far this year. Robert Johnson stopped basically at the line of scrimmage, and a rare 3rd and not short, a 3rd and medium, if you will. Kind of wonder, maybe they give it to Scar Patterson, see if he can just chuck it down the field or just move the chains a little bit, but they've got no wrong answers here.
No, they don't. I would just... I think they could get the first down running the ball.
I mean, you probably can with how many yards they've been averaging. Toss, right side. Logan breaks a tackle. Breaks another one. Breaks a 3rd. Away he goes. Oh, stopped and pushed out. But you almost had a 4th. If he chucks off Roy Towers there, you think he's got pay dirt. What is this?
Bad tackling. That is what we are seeing. It's just really rough when you can't take them down initially. That's going to stop you from getting the first down. And just having the will to fight to keep on moving those legs to get extra yardage. And this is why we're seeing a historical performance right now.
Little column A, little column B. Logan Lee has no quit in him. Power I formation. Lots of hands on the ground for Canton. They want to push up front. Jacksonville stacking the block. Doesn't matter. Right side run. Oh, nowhere to go. Robert Johnson tried to bounce that one to the outside, but was met and stopped cold by Alex Bond.
Yeah, and this is something the team that's playing the classics in the first round needs to understand. They have to contain, they have to tackle.
Truly, because if you can't stop the run, then they are more than happy to just run it until you show you can. And Jacksonville is showing us what it looks like when you can't stop that rushing attack. It's just so one-sided. Logan Lee again, turning something out of nothing. Call him a wizard. Check him. Get him a drug test. Check that man. He is just out of his mind right now.
And it's because of breaking tackles and a good offensive line that's giving him the hole to run out there. When you're averaging 8.6 yards a carry on 32 carries, it's mind-boggling.
Looks like a weak formation. Lots of hands on the ground again. More power running. Diet left side, and that's a 4th and inches. Robert Johnson not quite able to get across. Will we see a challenge? Maybe, maybe not. But I think Canton's more than happy to not bother. At this point, like it feels like salt in the wound, but I still think I go for it here.
You know what? If you go for it, the coach needs to turn his back so the other coach doesn't see him, because I'll be upset. You don't need to. You know that. You know what the play is. Oh my God!
Nail in the coffin. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Canton is here to put an end to it. Run right side. Logan Lee does get the first down. And they'll let that clock wind down to get one more play off before the 2-minute warning. And this has been what you've expected. So let's talk for a moment about tomorrow. First round buys are on the line in our final Saturday slate of the regular season, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Current 3-seed Minnesota, 4-seed DC, and 5-seed Fort Worth will all be in action. Sunday, Vancouver claims the Pacific with a win. Seattle needs a win and a Legion loss for the division title, and both, plus Mexico City, are in the playoffs with a win. It all comes down to this. SFL football this weekend, right here on SFL YouTube. Run on the right side, spin move, broken tackle, and he will almost get across the first down markers. Robert Johnson, who has been more than happy to also eclipse the century mark at this point. Both of these backs are setting new unit records. What more can you say when they come in averaging 174 rushing yards a game? But now at this point, so far, they've got 392 yards, almost 400. And there's your 2-minute warning.
And there's your best team in the league right here with arguably the best offensive line.
Showing you why they're the best. And it's very simple to understand. It starts with the line and the run. It all flows from here. Logan Lee up the middle, makes a hole where there isn't one. Acrobatic maneuvers. Jacksonville takes a timeout.
And like you talking about, tomorrow's gonna be a busy day for both of us. I gotta hop in on the plane to go to Minnesota, and they call that game, and right afterwards I gotta get back on the plane to head to San Diego. We got a lot of great action tomorrow in SFL football.
It's certainly going to be one to watch. You can't imagine that a lot of people will be anywhere else. Split back formation for Canton. Run to the right side. Logan Lee again, who shucks a tackle, gets a little bit more. And they're just knocking on the door of there's 400 yards, I think. It's 400 rushing yards for the team. What?
Yeah, that's wild.
What?
That's absolutely
What?
wild. That's
284 yards for Logan Lee, 111 for Robert Johnson. Historic. Run left side, Logan looking for more. Breaks a tackle. Second man brings him down. Dallas Knowles actually makes the stop there. But Logan is looking for an opportunity to make history.
And let's see if Jacksonville can stop that.
See if they can keep him out of the end zone here. See if they can keep him away from a first down. Run, left side, Logan Lee again. Breaking it. No, they wrap him up. Wow.
Yeah, Jacksonville said, nope, you're not going to have history put on us. Nope, not at all.
Tega Clay comes off the block on the left side, is able to wrap up Logan as he's trying to get by. That is, I think, the best tackle that we have seen Jacksonville make all night. If they were able to do a few more of those on some crucial third downs, they force some more punts, they force maybe a field goal here or there. They don't have this kind of beating laid on them. Canton, if they make this field goal, beat the over-under line by themselves. And it's up, and that's through. Canton, with the most one-sided game of the season so far, showing why they are soon to be 12-0, making their own bid at perfection, trying to do what Fort Worth couldn't last year.
And they head into the playoffs as a heavy favorite. But what I've seen out of a lot of these teams that are still battling for position is that the will and the guts to not be afraid against, a giant team like Canton here. And Canton has to be ready for everything when it comes to the playoffs, because there's a lot of film out there, and they're going to do everything they can to contain them.
For sure. This does feel like kind of a statement game, though, from Canton. Over, under, covered on their own. But I gotta say, I love the SFL playoffs because no team is starstruck, no team is intimidated. Every team is coming to win, and it's a do or die. And Canton will have to maintain the energy that they've had for every single game this season so far. Or else, you kind of wonder if it was worth it. You got to ask the Fort Worth team about that last year. You ask a few other teams that have tried to go undefeated. The last team to go undefeated and win a title, season 11, Alaska, managed it. No one has done it since. OJ back to pass. Weak side blitz, and that gets home again. And that will be fourth and a punt, no doubt about it, unless Jacksonville decides, let's just see what happens, but I don't think so.
That is an exclamation point for the season for Jacksonville that just hasn't had the fortunes and the opportunities to show what they are as a team. And for Canton right there, that's just sealing your perfect regular season.
For sure. And, we haven't been able to shut up about Logan Lee tonight, but for a second, I got to pivot back over to the Canton defense, focus on who made that sack there. Kevin Brackett has been having himself a night and a half. 11 tackles, 3 sacks, 5 total TFLs, leading the team, and by a lot, has been just an absolute force in killing any drive Jacksonville tried to put together. And at this point, it's just time for victory formation. Take a kneel. Take a bow, Canton. That's a 12-0 season, and the home crowd's going to shower you with cheers, and you deserve every last one of them.
Extremely impressive right here. It's just, it's great coaching. It's the discipline every single game, and not being rattled and recognizing that you are a good team, but you're going out there and you're showing why you're a good football team. You're going out there to show people that we are deserving of the number 1 seed and the best team in the league. They proved that to us every single game.
And there you have it, folks. Canton single-handedly controlling this game from start to finish, 48-0. 12-0. And in the final game of the season, Logan Lee having an all-time game at the running back position. Looks like it's somewhere in the top 3, top 4 of rushing yards all time since in the 4K23 era. Over 280 yards. Exactly how many we'll find out shortly, but thank you all for coming tonight and seeing tonight's game. I've been Alex West. With me is Andy Ellison, and in the broadcast truck with us, we've had the brilliant services of Ron Haynes. And I just want to thank you both for coming out tonight, and Benjamin Warner, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.